Greetings. Welcome to Eyes to the Sky with Gemini. Inspired to go live today to speak about TaUranus Cazimi, Sun conjoining Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This happens at 27 degrees and 17 arc minutes of tropical Taurus. Tropical signs directionally aligned, Earth's zodiac, and this Earth sign of Taurus. And this is the last TaUranus Cazimi that I will experience. The next time Sun conjoins Uranus in this sign of Taurus will be 2103. Sun and Uranus align every 369 days. And so what happens is from one Sun-Uranus connection or conjunction to the next, we move about 4 zodiac degrees. And we've been having these Sun-Uranus conjunctions in the sign of Taurus since 2019. Wonder if anything changed in our life that year. Most of us didn't really experience it until 2020, but it is interesting to see how much there has been change, and I think in some very Uranian ways, since Uranus we kind of speak of as in some regards traumatic, in other words, like freaky, accidental, lightning bolt, revolutionary tower fall changes. And Taurus, a sign of embodiment. I was interested to rewind the clock to see the last time Uranus was making conjunctions with Sun in the sign of Taurus. And this was the advent of nuclear fission, right, discovered by Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann in 1938. And we were in the midst of Sun-Uranus conjunctions moving through the sign of Taurus back then. Hopefully, we're not going to experience the type of event we did, 84 plus years ago with Uranus moving through the sign of Gemini, because part of that transit included nuclear bombs. No more of that. I wonder if we can tune into this alignment today of Sun with Uranus through an embodied Taurus practice that will help us align ourselves to some type of embodied revolution that we would like to have. So, of course, when Sun conjoins Uranus, this means Sun between us here on Earth and Uranus way beyond, right? So, of course, there's no way for us to see Uranus in the sky today. Now, that's typically true, but not always. So I actually want to rewind the clock a bit. And again, Uranus in Gemini, it's kind of heavy. Like last time was World War II. And eventually these nuclear bombs. The time before that, here in the States, also felt war. It was Civil War. There was also a really significant advance in technology then, though, as well. Of course, like the nuclear advent and the most recent Gemini Uranus transit. In the time before that, really like oil came fully online. Let's let the dog in real quick. No, I mean, human beings had been using oil technology for a long time before that, but this is like when pipelines were created and like we really started moving into this oil and gas age, if you will. It's in some ways interesting that nuclear didn't replace that. So I'm wondering if there's a new energetic advent that's coming our way with Uranus ingressing Gemini this year and then moving through Gemini over most of the next decade ahead. Because we see this technological shift with Uranus and Gemini, and in many ways this makes sense because Gemini has that intellectual discovery of essence to it, and Uranus can be associated with technological breakthroughs, shifts, revolutions. Also, the node of Uranus, the north node of Uranus, is in the sign of Gemini. I mean, intriguingly, during these A bombs in 1945, Uranus was like right at the node, not of the moon, of Uranus. And that was true also during World War II, and the Gemini Uranus transit before, which included the discovery of Uranus. I think I have that chart here. I'm going to put that on the screen. So this was March 13th, 1781. Hold on just a second. Let me put the chart on the screen and put our feet on the ground here because this is a timed chart. Bath, England, 10:30 p.m., March 13th, 1781. Okay, well, you see Uranus here in Gemini then. I mean, interestingly, Mars opposite Uranus, the strong T-square with Sun in between Mars, Uranus. Saturn involved here. Saturn, by the way, was with Neptune when Neptune was discovered. But let me put in these planetary nodes, and you'll see that at the time, Uranus was actually at the node of Jupiter, but had conjoined the node of Uranus before this time. I'm not going to go to A-bombs. I want to take short times with these eye to the sky transmissions anyway, which I'm wanting to make a habit of. Anyway, in 1781, of course, this was in the midst of so many revolutions. The American Revolution, the French Revolution was boiling up. It was the Industrial Revolution. This is William Herschel and Carolyn, his sister, with a gigantic telescope in their backyard, which is all the fad for people who had the dough. And they were comet hunting, and Uranus was discovered quite by accident. Right? They thought it was a comet, and tracking it for some days, the astronomical community realized, whoa, this was a planet. Now, an important thing to share here is that looking back through the astronomical records, for many places, including England, where William and Carolyn Herschel were, but also in China and Italy and other records, Uranus had been recorded before. Nobody knew it was a planet, right? This was shocking. It's revolutionary. We stopped with Saturn, right? Father Time, the slowest of the moving lights, the moving stars, the planetas, those that wander against the backdrop of the constellations, yes. And Saturn's been known since always, right? We can see Saturn with our eyes. Well, you can also see Uranus with the naked eye sometimes. Has to be a dark sky, and so that means like a moonless night at the opposite side of the cycle that we're having today. And I mean the Sun-Uranus cycle, right? So when Sun's conjunct Uranus, that means Earth, Sun, Uranus. It's when Sun is opposite Uranus on the other side of this 369-day cycle, when it's Sun, Earth, Uranus, right? It's like a full Uranus, Uranus fully reflecting sunlight to our view. And at that time, this means that Earth is passing Uranus by, and that planet is then close enough and bright enough in dark skies to be seen with the naked eye. I've been initiated. I saw Uranus some years ago in Joshua Tree. Now, in true Uranus equals technology truth, I had to use the phone app, to figure out which of those dots in this particular geometry was Uranus. And I got to put that thing away and saw, same night I saw Vesta with my naked eye as well. But so we, looking back, had these old records of Uranus. And so that actually helped the astronomers calculate the ephemerides for Uranus much more quickly than would have happened through observation alone. That's a very interesting statement, I think, about what Uranus is, what Uranus can do. All right. How alarming. I need to run to teach an Earth astrology class about the sun. But here's a practice I'm going to align with personally today, and I suggest you do too. Be with the sun in the sky if clouds allow. Probably do this with your eyes closed so you don't go blind, all right? Sometimes when our eyes are closed and we're facing that bright light, we'll get a bit of a picture show, you know? You can rub your eyelids to promote that if you'd like. Stimulate the vision. We want to be careful when we're calling on Uranus, right? So go slowly, which is a good Taurus practice anyway. But head out through the sun, or bring Uranus through the sun to you. And invite change. Especially, Taurus fixed sign. Like if you feel like there's some habits that you'd like to shift away from, it's a really good time to call in Uranus there. I always, when I do work with the sun, like to then turn my back to the light, to take some courage, let the sun warm the back of my heart, and face my shadow. And know, like in this case, it'll be Uranus, sun, me, my shadow to the center of the earth, to all of us, right? To the zodiac. And just kind of contemplate the light and the shadow and the work and the play that I can do for this particular alignment. How can I change my awareness of the body's electricity and technology in such a way that promotes more awareness for all of Earth? Fix sign, fix yourself to fix the world, for we are all one. And this is the reminder of the sun, sunlight, the one light in our sky. Uranus will move into Gemini quite soon. I'll tell you that date. It's July 7th, 7/7/2025. I guess 25 is a 7-2, so 7's all around. Retrograde 11/7. Uranus will move back into Taurus for some unfinished business on November 7th, 25, but then into Gemini to stay all the way until 2032 on April 25th, 2026. And our next Sun Uranus conjunction, our next Kazimi, 369 days from today, will be May 22nd, 26. In Gemini. So this really is our last time to experience a TaUranus Cazimi. Maybe we can contemplate how it's been going back to the first of this series, which was April 22nd, 2019. See what's changed in your life since then. Maybe also contemplate what changes you were calling in that haven't activated yet. Okay. I plan to start doing more of this, and every time I do, you're going to hear me invite you to check out constellations. So the way to do that is geminibrett.com/constellations. It's the School of Earth Astrology's membership community. It's amazing. I'm off to go teach a mysteries class there right now, exploring sun through our sister sciences of sacred geometry and harmony and sacred astronomy and number magic. So we would love for you to check us out. Align your star with ours. This year we'll be journeying slowly through the planets 1 month at a time and really deep diving and having time for integration and community connection, tribe. It's co-led by my beloved Scorpiana. And we would love for you to check us out. So GeminiBrett.com/constellations. Should you go there, use the coupon code STARFAM. And you can claim the ability to come in at $19 a month, which is a very solar number. Sorry, Leo Smurf. For those of you who are in constellations, I'll see you in class in a few minutes. If you're missing that one today, but you're interested in exploring the Earth astrology of the sun, as soon as you come on board, you will find a recording waiting for you. Uranus, Kazimi, and Taurus. There's something in the kind of shocking memory here and how we can shock our memory to completely reinvent ourselves, starting in the body mind. See you in space, friends. Eyes to the sky.